And like to me, that was like so fucking relatable because I'm like, oh my god, I've done that so many.
And then even more when he goes, I'm just gonna chop his head off and put it in my fridge. I'll do that, and you're like, relatable.
All right, we're gonna do it, y'all. We're gonna talk about Mr. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, I thought you could say Epstein.
I know.
I thought so too.
Documentary.
Where's the
This show's fucked up, dude.
Where's the list? What episode are you on?
I couldn't get. I watched. Me and my wife tried to watch the first episode like 2 times. Couldn't get through it. Finally got through it on the 3rd time. Then we watched the 2nd episode, and I had turned it off.
It's because you keep fucking eating pulled pork in the middle of it.
Yeah, you shouldn't be eating.
Really, you can't eat.
Too similar.
Yeah. Oh.
Roast beef, no roast beef. Don't have a Cuban sandwich.
The 2nd episode is when they introduce the young Filipino boy who is 14, and it's like a very famous Jeffrey Dahmer story. And then you watch it because it's creepy because it's like the guy who plays Jeffrey Dahmer does such a good job of making you feel like you're in the fucking room with him, you know, while he's trying to
interesting,
about to murder you, and you know as an audience member what's gonna happen to the fucking guy. And then I'm too pussy to watch it. I had to turn it off.
Did you watch it, Ryan?
No, I haven't seen it. I've seen other Jeffrey Dahmer, like past films and documentaries, though.
Yeah, the documentaries are cool. Yeah, big fans.
Yeah, I've got some. We've got a little news article on it, but while we're still on the TV show about it, I will say that isn't this low key one of the reasons or the incentives of such manifesto like serial killers that want to become the stuff of legends?
Oh yeah.
Like this dude's literally got, and Netflix even like promotes this. It's one of the like top 10 shows of all time in the first XYZ weeks that it's been out or whatever.
They made so many movies on this fucking.
Dude, he's gonna live forever.
They've already got like 196 million hours of streaming or some shit like that.
He's immortalized.
What's with our culture and our obsession with
And
him?
the story's called Dahmer. It's like just Dahmer.
Yeah. Glorified the name.
And it's a drama. It's not even a documentary that talks about like what happened. It's like it's dramatized, and you know what's weird in this maybe
Kind of
glorifying it.
It's fucking weirdly relatable. So again, everybody understands what happens.
Whoa, not to us. Hey, not to this type.
Relatable, huh?
So again, hot take.
Well, hey, I gotta say real quick, as a white man, you can't do that to me because people mostly think I'm a serial killer, more likely than not.
Your outfit says no. Your outfit says rap artist trying to make it still.
Thank you.
Still.
I prefer clay artists.
But for example, in the 2nd episode?
With the Filipino boy.
No. Maybe I'm talking about the 3rd episode.
Just talk about it.
Okay, point is, there's other episode.
Which episode is?
I think it's the 3rd episode. Where he's got the hitchhiker. Everybody familiar with the hitchhiker?
No, but I'm sure they're all.
Give us the clip
hitchhikers.
notes. Yeah, they all end up dead. So
Yeah.
Basically, he knocks out this hitchhiker after he's trying to just smoke weed, drink some beer, hang out, and he's got this like whole abandonment issue thing where he's like, "Why is everybody trying to leave me? Why is everybody trying to leave me? Don't leave me, right?" And the guy's like, "I gotta go to this concert, so I fucking hitchhiked with you. You're being weird." But he's also discovering his homosexuality, so he like kind of like awkwardly kisses this dude in a moment where he thinks it might be appropriate. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? And he gets like. And it's human, so that's why
it's relatable.
It's relatable because I'm also in the closet, right?
Jeffrey Dahmer's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this moment though. This is what I mean by like again hot take, fucking weird relatable. He kills this guy accidentally in a sense by passion. It's not accidental. He knocks him with a fucking like a fucking 45-pound plate weight or something like that. And then afterwards the guy's still kind of like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Man, fuck you." And then he like kind of chokes him out. And then when he chokes him out, the guy stops moving. That's when he's like, in his mind, I feel like you could tell it's like he's like, "Oh shit, did I kill him?" So he starts freaking out. This is his first kill. This is like a memory or something like that. And then he has this like. Again, you're in the room, so you get this really, really strong feeling that you're there. Yeah. And he does this very human freaking out like he just killed his first guy. But the twisted thing is, this guy's killed like 17 other dudes, or in the finale,
he just didn't quit.
Yeah, he didn't quit. But this is like kind of his relatable first time doing it. And he freaks out and he tries to figure out how to do stuff and he like frantically tries to hide the body and then he gets to different ideas and he like pulls the body out and he's trying to figure out what to do. And it makes it awkwardly relatable, like they're humanizing this guy.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Joker too, right? With Joaquin Phoenix.
Joker's a fictional guy though.
I know, but you relate to a psycho, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I could have, if I was in a situation where I accidentally killed somebody, you could relate to the feeling of like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Well,
You could relate to that.
Well, it plays devil advocate
Yes,
for
exactly.
for the psychology of people who are just born like that.
Right.
And it humanizes him because then it starts to show like his family environment, the way he grew up, the way that his schoolmates treated him, the way he was bullied. And you start humanizing this psychopathic killer who fucking chopped up and ate some of his victims.
But they make it so relatable because you're watching this thing, and then like he just killed this guy, right? And then he's like going to his kitchen cabinets like we all do, and he's like, "Do I want soup or do I want chili?" And like to me, that was like so fucking relatable because I'm like, "Oh my god, I've done that so many."
And then even more when he goes, I'm just gonna chop his head off and put it in my fridge. I'll do that. And you're like, relatable.
Relatable. It's like, oh, I should probably. It's like, oh, okay, Nikki ordered too much takeout. I should probably put this in the fridge.
Yeah, we should probably save it for later in the week. Yeah. We've all been there.
See what you guys are trying to do, but watch episode 3.
Nah, dude, I think I'm done watching.
I'm gonna watch it.
I usually like serial killer stuff as far as like a documentary standpoint.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like documentary, you're like consuming the information as things that happened.
Yeah.
But then when there's like a perspective through the writing that like takes a fictional approach to what may have happened that caused this person to do it, it psychologically twists your understanding.
Is it? Are you guys like on the fence of it? Of like, is it celebrating it? Is it glorifying it? Is it maybe even promoting this type of shit? But also at the same time, is it just really good art because it's really good writing that makes it relatable?
I think it's all the above.
I think when something's difficult to understand, people are going to be attracted to trying to understand it.
I always, honestly, when I heard of the story of Dahmer, I thought that he was a from scratch guy. I didn't know he used chili kits.
The seasoning packets, were you disappointed?
Yeah, I was like, wow, he's getting some Carol Shelby chili kit out. I didn't.
Might as well have some ragu.
I thought the guy was like dicing the ingredients up himself. I didn't know.
Videos.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that
He was on the go a lot.
I wonder if there's a difference in the culture today, because like the way that this is being dissected, where people are like, oh, it's glorifying it, oh, it's whatever. Like there've been a shitload of Dahmer content through the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And every time I remember just like people joked about it instantly.
Yeah.
Like even in school, in a Seventh-day Adventist like mega Christian school, we were joking about it with teachers. It was like a butt of jokes.
It was a punchline.
Just say things were Dahmer. Yeah. Like you bite another kid. Oh, easy there, Dahmer. Like it was a joke, and nobody took it like, oh, we shouldn't put him on the news and glorify it. Like maybe I don't just remember that, but like. Instantly, there were tons of even shitty movies about Dahmer.
Dude, Donner Party of like 4 was like a funny bit when we were kids in the playground. Like you know, because when you go to a restaurant back then, it's like, oh, your party of like 3 or whatever. So it's like, oh yeah, my name's Dahmer, like party of 7. And it's like, you know, you're gonna eat 7 people or whatever. Like that was the bit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dude, that was the thing.
I wonder if it's like it's more sensitive today.
I'm speaking not from a place where I'm like, yo, you're glorifying, you're gonna fucking inspire all these murders. Like, either way, there's gonna be a fuck ton of serial killers in America specifically, and only for some reason, right?
And white dudes, don't forget.
I have a question. So in the show, they debated on destroying the brain or
Preserving for science?
preserving for science. So what do you guys think? Do you think that somebody with the mentality of a serial killer, do you think we should study it, or do you think we should just...
Answer like a person or a politician?
Both.
Okay, so as a politician, I would say, why would you want to preserve a serial killer's brain?
What are you running for?
City council.
I vote for it regardless.
As a person, I say, yeah, study the shit out of it. Like, let's understand how this shit happens and why.
So do you think it's more on the brain or on the human development, nurturing?
I think it's a combo, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's a combo.
So you think there's a part of his brain that was destined to be fucked up in some way?
Apparently in the show, I don't know how true this is. I don't know if they put it in as like a filler for the script or something. They were talking about how he had a surgery when he was young, and I think that the anesthesia might have
Affected his brain.
Well, his mom took a lot of those pills,
So
a lot
there's
of
that.
medication when she was pregnant with him.
So there's that, and then they showed the origin story of how like him and his dad would just pick up roadkill, and they would like dissect it and then like open it up and like take the guts out, and it's like it was more of like a science thing, like hey, check it out, and it's a hobby that they got into.
Unless they can find a common denominator with every person that was Dahmer-ish, and there's something that they all had in their brain, I think that's kind of cool. But
you'd have to study them.
yeah, that's the only reason I would be like, yeah.
Another thing I'm hearing about this is like, you know, like he's gay, right? So like people are saying that, you know, a lot of people in the gay community I'm hearing are saying like, hey, like this is making it look like it's a
Cause
gay,
and effect.
It's a gay people cause and effect, like. And
That's not fair, yeah.
I know
That's wild, bro.
I get it for them because they're like, dude, we've been fucked with so.
That's what happened in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. So like, dude, how come, like, you know, in Silence of the Lambs, of course the guy's got to be gay, and so, you know, I get all that too. So like, it's a little bit tougher, but like, this is just his story. This is like who.
But I feel like if you look at all the serial killers that have been very popular in American culture, most of them are like violent towards women anyway. It's like dudes that are like, most of them are probably like
Just fucking deranged.
yeah, like Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Right, that's the typical stereotype.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's like
Yeah, I think studying the quote-unquote apex of the typical serial killer, it might be a great use of scientific tax dollars, so that there might be something that can be relatable. But I think like a one of one or a very unique case is like, that's sure science and research.
But I feel like they do have a profile now. I don't think we know what it is, but they for sure have a profile.
And like, is like scientifically studying the brain after a deceased like murderer the way that you're gonna find out like their upbringing is the correlating response to why these.
I think you have to compare all of the
Hey,
information.
let's just start it like, hey, if you want to eat people, I think we should, yeah, we'll probably look at that one first.
Yeah. We'll check you out.
Yeah, we'll check that one out.
Because it seems like he was like, I think for a lot of serial killers, as they get more kills in, they tend to like change their methods over time. Like
You're desensitized to it.
yeah, because it, like they talked about it with the Golden State Killer, right? He was the guy that went up and down California
His
coast.
KD ratio is crazy.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. It's like I think 100 something. But they would talk about how he started only breaking in, and then he started like only breaking in and then raping women, and then they knew exactly when his first kill was, and then after his first kill, then he started being more experimental with how he killed the women, and then it became him killing the men and the women. So like it gradually continued to change and evolve, which in a weird way in their mind they probably think of it as like their body of work, which is a really fucked up way to think about it. But
I read about
that becomes their trait.
Like an attachment to that identity.
The Japanese cannibal, you know what I'm talking about, the infamous one who's
still free?
Yeah, who's still free, who's written like 20 fucking books about it and like makes a living off of his cannibalism and serial killing.
Makes fucking
right?
cannibal cameos.
He, for everybody who doesn't know, he like was studying abroad in like Europe or some shit, in Paris or something, fucking killed some chick, and then they dropped charges when he had gone back, and then because there were dropped charges in that interim, he couldn't be fucking tried in Japan.
Yeah, on a technicality.
In a loophole, he's able to walk free. But the thing that he talks about, one of the very famous things he talks about, is that one of his big regrets is that after he killed her and he ate her, he's like, man, I should have tried eating her while she was alive instead of dead. And so he literally dreams. He's like when I dream it, I have to do it. He's like, before I die, I have to try.
So it's like a curiosity thing that he's trying to.
For him, he literally talks about cannibalism as like the next step in natural human desire. If you can desire a human, whether it be like sexually or whether it be like just wanting to like control them or eat them. Eat them is just the next phase. It shouldn't be weird. That's his mentality about it.
Didn't he say the reason he did that was because he felt like that was his way of being closer to them, and them being a part of him is to be able to eat them.
He said too when he was a kid that was his inclination. That he saw like thighs and was like, I just want to eat them.
Whoa.
Like,
And he doesn't want to regret not eating them by the time he dies. Because he wants to satisfy that curiosity.
that's the brain we need to look at.
Can we not have him for a Careful Boys check-in episode?
There we go.
I think we should check in with that.
So how you doing?
Okay, we should. Okay.
Just for the safety.
And Bart should put a shirt on during that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 shirts. 2 shirts.
Dude, you for sure have the juiciest thighs.